Hey there, it's Eric Evenstad with bootstrapbizgrowth.com, and in this video I want to talk about whether or not outsourcing to a virtual assistant is actually ethical. So the reason I want to talk about this is because whenever I bring up the fact that I teach entrepreneurs how to outsource and how to work with virtual assistants, I always get this look from them where it's like, they kind of give me that look like, oh, you're kind of scummy, right? And this is because there's a couple of general myths around outsourcing that most people believe and that they're just not true. So number one, people believe that since you're only paying somebody over in the Philippines, paying a virtual assistant over there, a few $100s per month, that you're exploiting them because that amount of money over here just wouldn't cut it. But over there, they can live on that. So that's myth number one. Myth number two is that you're unpatriotic and that you're taking jobs away from local workers because you want to save money and hire somebody in a foreign country. So these are the two big myths that I get and that I talk to people about. And quite honestly, I thought the same thing when I first learned about outsourcing, and I learned that people were hiring virtual assistants over in countries like the Philippines. And so I went and did a bunch of research and talked with virtual assistants and talked with people that worked with virtual assistants, and I realized that both these things just aren't true. So let's talk about each of these individually. Number one is the fact that people believe that, it's unpatriotic and that you're taking jobs away from local workers. And I get this because all over the news you hear about these big corporate companies that are laying off thousands of workers here and moving those jobs overseas to countries like China, whether it's factory work or whatever it may be. And that's not a good thing because, you're laying people off here. But when you're hiring a virtual assistant, it's way, way different because we as entrepreneurs, we probably, especially when we're just getting started, we can't afford local workers. So they're just too expensive. We don't have the revenue yet to work with somebody here to hire employees. So when we're hiring a virtual assistant, we're not actually getting rid of jobs here because we're outsourcing work that we're currently doing. We're outsourcing those low value tasks, things like graphic design or website updates or social media management. We're outsourcing those tasks that we do so that we can focus our time on higher revenue generating activities that actually grow the business, things like sales or just building relationships with strategic partners. This is what we're talking about when we talk about hiring a virtual assistant and outsourcing to a virtual assistant. It's not about getting rid of jobs because these jobs don't exist. They're tasks that we're doing right now as the entrepreneur. And then the other part of that too is by outsourcing these low value tasks, we're able to grow our business faster, get more money in the door, and we're able to build it up to a point where maybe we can actually hire somebody locally down the road. So it's really the opposite of being unpatriotic and taking jobs away from other people. Our whole goal is to build a business that's big enough to where we can support other people here as well. Hiring a virtual assistant is just part of the path. It's part of that bridge to getting to that point. Number two, which I get, it feels like you're exploiting people. When I hired my first virtual assistant, I paid her $350 per month for full-time work. This seems like so little to us here in America. There's no way anybody could live on that here in the US. But over there, the cost of living is a lot lower, and this is actually good money for them. I think the average salary over in the Philippines is around $300 per month. So, you're not paying them below minimum wage. They're making good money. And, something that was eye-opening for me that I saw was that the cost of housing over there, which is obviously a big cost here, is 10 times lower than in the US. So that just goes to show you how much less the cost of living is over in the Philippines, which means that this amount of money that we're paying them is good money for them. Plus, you have to think about all the additional freedom that you're giving them by giving this job that they can work from anywhere. My virtual assistants that I've worked with, they all get to work from home. This is an amazing amount of freedom for them because they get to spend more time with their family, their kids. They get to take their kids to school. I give them days off for their kid's birthday, for their birthday, for holidays. This is a really great job for them. And anytime that I talk to my virtual assistant, they're always saying how grateful they are to have this job and to have this opportunity and to work with somebody like myself who treats them well. And that's what I teach in all my courses. I teach entrepreneurs how to build these relationships, how to manage their virtual assistants so that they are grateful for the job. You want to be treating them well. You want to give them bonuses, give them days off, pay them the 13th month bonus pay, which is essentially a full extra month's salary that you pay them in December, which is in line with Filipino laws. It's not necessary for us in the US to pay them this 13th month payment. It is a law over there, but it just goes to show you that we treat them well. We treat our virtual assistants well if you follow my hiring program. And that's what it's all about. It's not about exploiting them. It's about getting this work done cheaply for us so that we can grow our business, and giving these people over there in the Philippines a good, steady, reliable, full-time job, which is just so hard to come by for them if they're getting a job locally over there. So while it feels like exploitation to us, that money is going a long ways for them. You're making a real, genuine impact on their lives. They're grateful for it. It really is a win-win situation. So, I mean, go out and do some of your own research, learn more about it. There are a lot of myths around it, and I get why people think outsourcing is unethical, but from my experience, that's just not true. It's a bunch of myths. I'm going to put a link down below to a couple of videos that I found of virtual assistants talking about how grateful they are to have these jobs working for American business owners. And I just gained a lot from watching these and seeing the impact that these jobs have had on their lives. So if you're interested, go down and click those links and watch those videos and learn a little bit more about outsourcing from their point of view. I hope this helps you understand more about outsourcing. I totally understand how you might think that outsourcing is unethical, but I hope this kind of paints a different picture of outsourcing for you. And I hope you consider it because it is a win-win situation for everybody involved. If you found any value from this video, if you've learned anything, give me a thumbs up down below. Leave any comments or questions in the comment field below. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We talk about how to grow a business on a budget. So one of the big topics that we talk about is outsourcing. And I show you how to do it effectively, how to hire the right virtual assistant, how to treat them the right way, how to onboard them, how to train them. These are all topics and much, much more that we cover in this YouTube channel. So please subscribe. And then lastly, I just want to thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you coming by, learning more about outsourcing, and we'll see you next time.